Good afternoon, Key Stage 4, and welcome back to another virtual assembly at the end of another very busy week. I hope you're all well, I hope your families are well, and I hope you've had a chance to enjoy some of the glorious sunshine that we've been enjoying this week. Right, let's get cracking. So the first thing to say is a massive thank you to everyone in Year 10 who made it into their one-to-one meetings this week. I totally understand that some people couldn't make it for various perfectly legitimate reasons, but the vast majority of you were able to come in and meet your form tutor or another member of staff. I've got to say the feedback from those meetings was brilliant. Staff really enjoyed seeing you. Really enjoyed that face-to-face meeting that we've been missing for so long. So I hope it was useful for you too. I hope you feel like you were able to ask any questions. I hope you feel like you've got the answers to those questions. If there's anything else that you have thought about since those meetings that you want to ask, please drop those emails to your tutors, drop those emails to anyone at school, and we will try and get back to you with any additional information. And building on that idea of our contact with you and the engagement that you guys are showing us, it was really, really, really pleasing to see that on Tuesday we had the highest percentage of contact with Year 10 that we've had so far since we started making those phone calls. 75% of you were available and had those conversations with your tutors. That's absolutely brilliant because, again, it gives us another chance to talk to you. It gives another point of contact and a chance to find out any problems that you've got, anything that we can do to fix it. I just reiterate one more time, if you are having problems or there's anything that you're worried about or you don't know, please don't wait for us to call you. Please make sure that you are contacting us. You can do that via email, which is on the screen. You can do it via the phone number, email your tutor, email the school, whatever it is, just get in contact with us and please ask for that help. One of the key things that came out of those discussions that staff have had with you one-to-one, in person and also over the phone, is about your emails. It is really, really, really important that you get yourself logged onto your school email every single day, that you're checking for information, you're checking for updates, because that is one of the ways that we're contacting you, particularly with non-core subjects, so your option subjects. Lots of those subjects like history and psychology are emailing work out to you every single week. And the number of people who I've had say, there's no work for history on Seneca, or there's no work for psychology on Seneca. Well, that's because it's being emailed to you, okay? If you can't access your emails still, please don't be, embarrassed, whatever. Just email us and we will get it sorted for you. Use your personal email the school or call us, and we will get that fixed so that you can get on with your work. That should not be a barrier to you learning. Next up, part of our list of things to keep you occupied during lockdown, Miss Allen is sending out her weekly recipe. This week it's a stunning looking apple crumble. So if you've been following along with these, amazing. Maybe take a few photos and send them in. We'd love to share those with other people. But yeah, maybe not one for the burning heat of this week, but maybe if we have a bit of cooler weather coming, an apple crumble would be really welcome. So pause the screen, make your notes, and get in the kitchen. Next thing I want to do is to remind you of something that I talked about last week, which is the Fantasy Wings organisation. So this is an absolutely incredible offer that's been pushed our way, or pushed your way rather. And that is that Fantasy Wings is an organisation which is offering 3 training places for 3 students to have all of the training and receive a private pilot's licence. Okay, all completely for free. So that's about £10,000 worth of training and licence completely free. And all you have to do is go to the Fantasy Wings website, sign up, and have a go. Why wouldn't you? And then on top of that, even if you don't get one of the 3 places, or you don't fancy doing the full course, there are also 50 places for a free flying lesson. So, if I was still within the age range that allowed me to apply for this, I would be applying for this. So get yourself across to www.fantasywings.com and have a go. And so that brings us on to today's message. Today, I want to talk to you about 2 of the virtues which are really important at the moment: self-discipline and commitment. Over the last few weeks, I have been absolutely full of praise for all of you who've been working really hard in whatever way you can to keep learning and making progress whilst you're all stuck at home. And we're going to do some more shout outs in a moment to celebrate that. The self-discipline and the commitment that many of you have shown are an absolute credit to you. And equally importantly, they put you in a really strong position for when we return to school. However, the reality is that there are some of you who are simply not making enough of an effort and have done very little work over the last 9 weeks. Now, I know that there are challenges and obstacles that are making working at home difficult. But I've got to be really honest with you about the consequences of not doing as much work as you possibly can during this period of shutdown. What you've got to remember, and what a lot of students forget, is that each of your GCSEs is like a race where you're competing against every other student across the whole country who sits that exam. The grade that you get at the end is not decided by getting a set number of marks. It's decided by how the marks that you get compare to the marks that everybody else in the country gets. If I was preparing for a race against thousands of other people and took a few months off training whilst the rest of my competitors kept at it, I would not expect to be able to keep up with them on race day. And this is exactly the same. Because the reality is that most year 10s, the people that you are competing against next year for your GCSE grades, are still in training. As you probably would guess, I've got lots of friends who are teachers in other schools around the country, and I've been talking to some of them about how they're coping with virtual teaching and how their students are doing. And from talking to them, there are schools who have got the capacity to teach full interactive lessons online every day. We can't do that. There are schools where almost every student has completed at least 4 hours a day of work set by their teachers. This is not the case with our year group. Those students are still training, and they're training really hard. We've got to do the same if we're going to keep up. Now, of course, when we get back to school, we are going to do everything we possibly can to get you up to speed. The staff are working really hard to make sure that we can teach you everything you need to know before the exams. But what we will not have is any spare time. No time to repeat, no time to revise, and no time to get your brains working again after months off. Because think about it, if the worst comes to the worst and we don't return back to school until September, that will be over 5 months since you sat in the classroom. There is no more time to waste. So I need you all to step up to the plate, lean on those virtues of self-discipline and commitment, and get working in whatever way you can, so that when we are back together, you are ready to go. You've got a week now for half term. You need to use that time to get yourself organised and mentally ready for proper hard work next Monday. All that being said, it's now time to celebrate the excellent work that is happening from so many of you with our shout-outs. So, the people who have been awarded shout-outs this week, first of all, for history, we've got Alishba Mohammed. We've got in citizenship, we've got Asma Shaheen. For geography, we've got Aisha Begum. Modern foreign languages, it's Siam Mohammed Abbas. Maths is Samira Khan. Music is Samir Mahmood. And finally, for English, it is Fikriyat Al-Shamiri. Really, really well done to all of you guys. You are a great example to everyone of how you can overcome the challenges and obstacles and keep cracking on and doing excellent work. So well done. Obviously, one of these people is going to be awarded the gift card, and that Amazon gift card goes to Fikriyat Al-Shamiri. Really, really well done, Fikriyat. I've got to say, I am incredibly impressed by the number of hours that you're putting in. Absolutely huge. I know in English last week it was well over 4 hours work that you did. So that is absolutely awesome. Keep it up. I said last week that there was going to be another Amazon gift card for art. So maybe that's a bit of an incentive to get involved in the art competition as well. This week's Amazon gift card goes to Halima Mahmood for some absolutely fantastic work on texture using just a pen. Really impressive stuff. So really well done to all of those people. Keep it up.